Hey, we're gonna do a reading outside today because it's gorgeous today, but when you get this, I don't know if it will be or not, but we're gonna start a new book. It's Save Me a Seat, Sarah Weeks Save Me a Seat by Jitta. Whoa, I don't know how to pronounce her name, I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher it, Berda Rahan, but Sarah Weeks, and so this is gonna be our new book. Right now I want you to be thinking about your predictions just by looking at the cover. Like, is it telling us what the book's about? Is it not? I don't know. I have not read this book, so I'm actually really excited. But I'll read the back for you. It says, Joe and Ravi might be from different places, but they're both stuck in the same place, school. Joe's lived in some town. Joe's lived in the same town all his life and was doing just fine until his best friend moved away and left him on his own. Ravi's family just moved to America from India, and he's finding it pretty hard to figure out where he fits in. Joe and Ravi don't think they have anything in common, but soon enough they have a common enemy, the biggest bully in their class, and a common mission to take control of their lives over the course of a single crazy week. So, think about it. You can pause if you want to think about what you think is going to happen. But other than that, we will start reading. Chapter 1, Ravi. Most people in America cannot pronounce my name. On the first day at my new school, my teacher, Miss Beam, is brave enough to try. Surahana, she says, her eyebrows twitching as she attempts to sound it out. Suryahani Riyana. I say slower. She tries again, but it is no better. I'm going to have to work on that, she says with a laugh. I laugh too. Suryana Rahanan is my surname. I can't pronounce it. My first name is Ravi. It's pronounced Rahavi with a soft Ra and strong V. In Sanskrit, it means the sun. In America, people call me Ravi with the stress on the first syllable. That doesn't mean anything. Patience is a virtue. Amma reminds me often. She believes that with time, people will learn how to say our names correctly. My grandmother tells her not to hold her breath. We moved to Hamilton, New Jersey a few months ago, May 13th to be exact. I am fresh off the boat, as they say. My father got a promotion at his IT company in Bangalore, so they transferred him to America. In India, Appa and I had our own house with a cook and a big garden. We even had a driver to take us wherever we needed to go. My grandparents lived in their own flat nearby. Now we all live together in a townhouse in a place called Hamilton Mews. Things are very different here in America. Appa takes a train to work. We don't have a cook anymore, so Amma has to prepare all the meals herself. Our new house is much smaller than the old one. There's only one bathroom upstairs, which I share with my grandparents. I wouldn't mind so much, except Peri Papa likes to take long showers, and Parima leaves her teeth in a glass by the sink at night. I learned to speak English when I was very young. We speak mostly English at home, and I went to an English medium school, but for some reason, people here in New Jersey have trouble understanding me when I speak. I'm trying to learn how to swirl my tongue to sound more American. My grandmother doesn't like it. Be proud of who you are and remember where you come from, she tells me. If you're not careful, you'll turn into one of them. Your grandfather didn't slave in the tea plantation so that his only grandson would become some rude, overweight, beef-eating cowboy. I don't think Parima likes America. My school in India was called Vidya Mandir, which means Temple of Knowledge. My new school is called Albert Einstein Elementary. Parima could hardly wait to show off to all her friends at home that her grandson had been accepted to a school named after a scientific genius. I'm not a scientific genius, but I am a very good student. My favorite subjects are math, English, and sports, especially cricket. Boys and girls, please welcome our new student, Ravi, Miss Bean says after she has taken the roll call. He comes to us all the way from India. Isn't that exciting? Miss Beam is short and round. When she smiles, her eyebrows touch each other. As I look around the room, I see a mostly white faces stare back at me. I feel a little nervous. It is my first day of first grade in room 506, and I am the only Indian in my class. There is only one other, a boy named Dillian Samran, but he doesn't count. He is an ABCD, American-born confused Desi. Desi is a Hindi word for Indian. I can tell Dylan is an ABCD because he speaks and dresses more like an American than an Indian. Tell us something about yourself, Ravi, Miss Beam says, smiling at me. Yes, ma'am, I say, standing at attention. Everyone laughs. Miss Beam claps her hands. Boys and girls, where are your manners, she asks. Go on, Ravi. We're listening. I push up my glasses and continue. My name is Ravi Suraniana, and I just shifted from Bangalore. Everyone laughs again. What's so funny, I wonder? Miss Bean claps her hands. Her eyebrows are twitching like mad. Boys and girls, is this how we welcome a new student to Albert Einstein? The room gets quiet. The spotlight is on me. I can feel the whole class staring. This is my first day of school in America, and things are not going well. Miss Beam turns to me. You can call me Miss Beam, she says softly. And Ravi, here in America, students don't need to stand up when the teacher calls on them. Do you understand? Of course I do. I push my glasses up and rub my nose. It's something I do when I'm nervous. Miss Beam comes over to my desk. She has a look of pity on her face. Don't worry, Ravi, she says, patting me on the shoulder. You can introduce yourself to the class later, after you've had a little time to work on your English. We have a very nice teacher named Miss Frost in the resource room. I'm sure she can help you. I want to say my English is fine. 2, I don't need Miss Frost. 3, I was top of my class at Media Mander. But here, what I do instead: 1, I push up my glasses. 2, I rub my nose. 3, sit down and fold my hands. My friends and teachers at Media Mander would have a good laugh if they could see me now. Their star student taken for an idiot. What a joke. Miss Beam is writing out our own homework on the board. I open my notebook and carefully copy down the assignment. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Dylan Samrin staring at me. He looks like a movie star straight out of Bollywood. His long, shiny black hair falls over one eye. With a quick jerk of his head, he shakes it away. Then he smiles and winks at me. I smile back. Dylan Samrin, maybe an ABCD, but I think he wants to be my friend. So that's the end of chapter 1. And I want you to pause for a minute when I'm done. When I say go, pause it for a moment. I want you to think how he must be feeling, how it feels to be the new kid. I know a couple of you were the new kid this year. And how it feels to be the new kid, how it must feel to feel like an outsider. Think of somebody else that might feel like an outsider that we might have in class or in the school. And just think about how that might feel. And just, I don't know, because I want to say what I'm thinking, but I want you to think and come up with your own thoughts. So, pause and think about it, and then come back and I'll read chapter 2. Go. And we're back. Good thinking, kids. I really liked how you did that. Chapter 2, Joe. My name is Joe, but that's not what most people call me. Not at Einstein anyway. I've never been a big fan of school, except for lunch. Eating is one thing I'm really good at. I've always been tall for my age, but lately I've been growing so fast my clothes don't fit anymore. Even the ones we bought a few weeks ago. I'm always hungry. A lot of kids wouldn't be caught dead eating school lunch. They call it mystery meat and slop, but I don't mind. Every week it shows up in the same order: chicken fingers, hamburgers, chili, macaroni and cheese, and pizza. By the way, it's not a coincidence that Tuesday is Burger Day and Wednesday is Chili Day, because at Einstein, hamburgers got recycled. It's not as bad as it sounds. The leftover burger from Tuesday gets dumped into a big pot with beans and some other junk, and presto chingo, on Wednesday you've got chili. Everybody knows I don't talk much at school. My best friend Evan and Ethan used to call me Blabbermouth as a joke, but I guess I'm not going to be hearing that much now, since they both moved away over the summer. To be honest, they were a little weird, but I'm going to miss them anyways. Evan, Ethan, and I ate lunch together every day last year, and they had to go to the resource room for extra help, same as me. Not that we had the same problems. For one thing, they were both super hyper, and I'm not. This year, I'll have to go by myself to see Miss Frost, and I'm not sure who I'm going to eat lunch with. Probably no one. People think you're unfriendly if you don't talk to them, but they don't understand that it's a problem for me that it's so noisy in the cafeteria. My brain and nose don't get it. Last year I had Miss Barnes for my teacher. Miss Barnes is epic. Mr. Barnes. He can bounce a hacky sack off his knee 100 times without messing up. I'd never even heard of a hacky sack until Mr. Barnes brought his to school. It was pink, which Dylan Samrin thought was hilarious. He said something mean about it behind Mr. Barnes' back, and all the girls laughed. Sometimes I wonder what's wrong with the girls, but then I remember I already know what's wrong with girls. Everything. Mr. Barnes is African American. He shaves his head and wears bow ties, real ones. You have to tie yourself. He must have talked to Miss Frost about me because he never asked me to read out loud in front of the class or come up to the board to do math problems. He understood those things are hard for kids like me. Some people don't mind having everybody look at them. Dylan Samreen, for instance, he wears his pants pulled down low with his underwear sticking out of the bottom. He wants people to see it. His boxers have dollar signs on them, or dice, or lobsters, and he has special ones for holidays too, with candy corn or Christmas trees or red hearts for Valentine's Day. Dylan is famous for his boxers, but his real claim to fame is his tongue, which is long and pointy like a devil's. When he sticks it out, it makes the girls scream. He thinks he's the smartest kid at Einstein, and he might be right. He's definitely the meanest. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to be Dylan Samreen, but that is something I'll never know. Mr. Barnes was the first teacher I ever had who liked me. Miss Frost likes me, but she likes everybody, so it doesn't count. On my final report card, Miss Barnes wrote, I was a valuable member of the community. My mom was so proud she stuck it on the refrigerator with a magnet. It's still there. Today is the first day of school, and Mr. Barnes is the first person I run into when I get there. He's wearing a red bow tie with little blue whales on it. I'm pretty sure it's new, or at least I've never seen it before. Last year, Mr. Barnes had 17 different bow ties that he always wore in the same order, starting with the green one with the white diamonds and ended with the orange and purple striped ones. Mr. Barnes' bow ties were another one of my favorite sequences. Yo, Joe, he says, how's it feel to be in 5th grade? Good, I tell him, at least so far. Maybe this year will be different, I think. Maybe Dylan Samreen won't be in my class. But when I get to room 506, there he is, standing over by the window with his underwear hanging out polka dots. Lucy Mulligan and a bunch of her annoying girlfriends are standing around him chanting, do it, do it, do it. They want him to stick out his tongue, but Dylan won't. Come on, Samreen. Let's give them what they want. Tom Dinkins shouts before sticking out his own tongue and wagging it at the girls. Tom Dinkins is a Dylan Samreen wannabe. The girls don't care about his tongue. I warn you, Dylan tells his fan club. I think it grew a little over the summer. Lucy and her friends start jumping up and down. Ew! One thing I will say about Dylan Samreen, he really knows how to play a crowd. All the screaming starts to get to me, so I do the in 2, 3, out 2, 3 breathing Miss Frost taught me. If that doesn't work, I'll have to use my earplugs. I always keep a pair in my pocket just in case. They come in different colors, but I like the tan ones best because they don't show as much. They are made out of some sort of squishy foam rubber, and when I wear them, I can still hear people talking, only it's softer, like when you're underwater or have a pillow over your head. I'm allowed to wear my earplugs in school whenever I want, but mostly I use them in the cafeteria, on the playground, and in gym class. Settle down and take your seats, announces Miss Beam, my new teacher. This is her first year teaching at Einstein, and she looks a lot younger than any of the other teachers I've had. She's shaped kind of funny, wider on the bottom than the top, and she's shorter than me, which is weird considering that she's my teacher. She seems nervous, and there's something freaky about her eyebrows. At Einstein, kids have to sit in alphabetical order. Every year since kindergarten, my seat has been right behind Dylan's. I know the back of his head by heart. Miss Beam has made named cards for all of us to put on our desks. But when I go to take my seat behind Dylan, somebody's already sitting in it. He's a shrimpy-looking kid with thick glasses and greased-down black hair parted on the side. I've never seen him before. I'm not sure where he's from. His skin is darker than mine, but not as dark as Dylan's or Caleb Burrell's. When I look at the card sitting on his desk, I see his name is about a mile long and full of Y's and A's. He seems kind of nervous, too. He keeps rubbing his nose and looking down at his hands, which are folded in his lap like he's in church or something. His shirt is so white it hurts my eyes to look at it. And he's got it tucked in and buttoned up all the way to the top when Miss Beam asks him to tell the class about himself. He stands up like he's in the army and calls her ma'am, which is about the only word he says that you can actually understand. Everybody starts laughing, and for a minute I think, hey, maybe 5th grade isn't going to be so bad after all. Maybe Dylan Samreen will decide to pick on this new kid with the weird name and the funny accent instead of me. So that is the end of chapter 2. And that's all we're going to read today, but I want you to think about even how those two boys are different. What similarities do they have right now? what differences do they have, and how he might be feeling on his first day. So I love you all. I'll see you later, and I miss you like crazy.